and good evening and welcome to today's yoga class. And today we are doing sort of a, well, I've called it Yoga Fit. So expect to work relatively hard in the sense that we'll be making our muscles work and we're making our cardiovascular system work, but all in the name of hopefully yoga poses that are familiar to you. But even if you're new to yoga, everything is quite straightforward. It's just about just be ready to sort of want to challenge yourself and see what you are capable of. And as always, approach it with a bit of a smile and a bit of fun. And if something doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work. So we're going to start in a comfortable cross-legged seat and just give ourselves a moment to settle in. So find some stillness. Let yourself sit nice and tall. Feel your chest rise up and away from your hips. Relaxing your arms down into your lap. Let your shoulders feel heavy so that your neck feels nice and long. Find softness across your face as you close your eyes. And just take a moment to watch yourself breathing in. Feel the chest rise. And breathing out, feeling the body soften. Continue just to watch the breath here, feeling everything begin to focus, everything to feel very present. And just drawing that breath out a little longer, a little stronger. And just taking a moment to remind yourself to try and maintain this quality of breath, this strength of breath, as you continue to move through more challenging shapes than simply sitting onto your mat. So from here, as you inhale, circle your arms wide, reach them to the sky and let the palms face forwards. On the exhale, let your hands come to fold to the mat in front of you. Let your chin fall towards your chest so that your body is nice and long, the back of the neck matches the rest of the spine. And start to give your feet a little press down against the floor, switching on the hip muscles, and those fingertips stay crawling away. And breathing in, keep allowing that chest to expand. And breathing out, allow yourself to keep folding. Great, one more, breathing in. And sitting yourself nice and tall, breathing out. Send the right hand behind you, the left hand onto your opposite knee. Give yourself a little assist into the twist as you look over your right shoulder. Keep the body nice and tall, hug the belly in, inhale. And then exhale, go straight the other side. Left hand behind you, right hand to the knee, looking over the left shoulder and giving yourself that little assist into the twist. Coming back to the center. The next inhale takes the arms back wide into the sky. And then exhale, right hand to the floor next to you. Take a little side bend. Option to soften the elbow. It might even be able to go all the way to the floor, but doesn't matter how far it goes. Keep your left sit bone down and focus on that length in the left side body. Pull the arm away from the ribs, breathing in. And breathing out to bring yourself up to center. Again, as you inhale, circle the arms wide, reaching tall. Breathing out, left hand to the floor beside you. You can leave it on the palm, you can soften the elbow, or you can drop the elbow if it's there for you. Roll the arm back, gaze underneath the armpit, and feel that big long stretch in the right side. Breathe into it, inhale. And then exhale to pull yourself all the way back upright, bringing your feet out onto the mat in front of you. We're going to move through a boat and a reverse tabletop for those familiar with the names. So let yourself find a balancing point onto your sit bones. Arms reach forwards, shins either parallel to the mat, or you can challenge your legs straight as long as your torso can stay upright. Breathing in as you hold. Breathing out, feet to the mat, hands just behind your hips. Lift your hips, tuck your tailbone, chin to the chest, top of the body is flat. Sit your bum back to the mat, reach your arms forwards, option to extend the legs or keep the shins parallel. Hands back to the floor, feet to the mat, lift the hips to the sky, chest up between the shoulders. Sit the bum back down and back into your boat, reach through those toes, reach through the fingertips. Keep moving, feet to the mat, hands to the mat, pressing the body to the sky. And then exhale, bum back to the mat and into your boat. Take a breath in And then last time, guys, feet down, hands down, lift the body, squeeze through your glutes, your bum muscles, and then exhale, sit your bum to the mat. Right foot steps away from you, left ankle, cross it over the top into this figure 4 shape. Step the right foot in and get yourself that stretch in the outer left hip. Keep this top foot flexed, toes towards shins to keep the knee protected, and press the knee away from you. Lift through the upper body, shoulder blades squeeze together, breathing in. And then as you breathe out, let this body and this foot roll all the way to the side. So you sort of twist it off the side of your mat. See if you can get your left sit bone back down to the floor. Left hand steps behind you. Inhale, right arm to the sky. And as you exhale, hook the elbow around the thigh, looking over the left shoulder. Option just to give the leg a hug if that elbow hook is a little bit too far. Belly draws in, chest pulls tall. Inhale, hold here. And then exhale, undo your twist, undo your legs, come back to face center. Second side, the left leg steps out, right ankle crosses over the right thigh, hands behind you. You can step the foot in or walk the hands in to deepen the stretch if that's there for you. But think of the right knee moving away from the body as you press the ankle into the thigh and keep your torso nice and tall. Breathing in. And then as you breathe out, let everything fall towards the left. Get that right sit bone back down onto the floor. Sit yourself nice and tall. Right hand goes behind you. Inhale, left arm to the sky. And then exhale, hook the arm around the thigh or give it a squeeze, a little hug, as we did on the other side, as you look over your right shoulder. Inhale, find that length in the body, lifting up. Exhale, keep allowing yourself to twist. One more to breathe in. And then breathing out, untangle, bring yourself back to center and bring those toes back onto the mat in front of you. One more little go at our boat. You're going to bring those toes away from the mat, reach the arms forwards. Take a nice deep breath in. See if your arms can lift over your head. Option to lift those toes up just as we did before. And then exhale, slowly let those feet find the floor. The arms are going to reach forwards. Perhaps they find your toes, but don't worry if they don't. Hold a different part of the leg wherever it is that you can reach to. Press the back of the thighs down into the mat, push away through the heels and flex the toes back towards you. Inhale and exhale. Think of compressing your body towards your thighs, breathing in and breathing out. Great, sit yourself up nice and tall. Take the soles of the feet to face one another and just make sure you have some space behind you before we go much further. Soles of the feet face one another and pull your heels nice and close in towards your bum. Interlace your hands to go underneath the toes, and as you pull up against the toes, push the toes back down into the mat and lift the body tall. That should give you strength into your hips to drive the thighs wider, stretching into those inner hips and finding that length in your spine. Take a nice deep breath in, keep pulling the body tall. Option to stay here if the next thing doesn't work for you, it's not within something you want to try. Hands to come behind your bum to lift your hips. You're going to shift your weight forward so you're standing onto the knife edge of your feet. See if you can then step your hands forwards and find your body folding between your knees so we're still heavily opening into the hips. Perhaps if you've managed here, you can try the balance for the hands to come together in front of the chest. Press those feet down into the floor to find stability and embrace the wobbles. Holding, option to keep the hands onto the mat if that's not there for you, and then let your bum come back down to the floor. Step the feet just a little further away from you so you've got a bigger diamond shape. Arms are going to reach forwards as you slowly allow yourself to descend all the way down onto your back. Once you get there, give your knees a little hug in towards your chest and pull your forehead towards your knees as well. So shoulders round off of the mat and into a tight little tucked ball. From there, knees fall off towards the right side of the mat and just come to prop yourself up on your right forearm so it looks like you're chilling out, but I promise we're not chilling for long. Toes are going to stay touching together, so think about keeping those glued. Press down into your elbow, lift your hips, lift your top knee to the sky, hand to your waist, and then sit everything back down where we came from for 1. Again, lift, knee to the sky, hips lift for 2. Lifting again for 3, we're going for 5, so 2 more. Lifting, Sitting, and then last one, push the hips to the sky, knee to the sky as well, and then sit your bum back down. Roll yourself back onto the back, knees pull in towards your chest, and now reach your toes to the sky. Lengthen out the legs, get the legs as straight as you possibly can by pushing away through the balls of the feet. Curl those shoulders back off the mat and reach the arms forward. So already starting to feel our core working here. And then we're going to do the scissor legs. So right foot, reach it forwards and down, just hover it off of the mat, and then switching through the legs. Try to move relatively slowly. You don't want to be going wah, 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 because as always with ab exercises, the slower you move, the more you're going to be challenging your strength. Switching sides, keep your legs as straight as you can, so challenge those hamstrings to stay lengthening. Take one more switch, and then both feet to reach up to the sky. Keep reaching those arms forward, shoulder blades off of the mat, and then knees hugging towards your chest. Rest those shoulders down, give yourself a little squeeze. Let those knees flop over towards the left. Prop yourself up onto your left forearm as we come to these little clam shapes on the other side. So remember, right hand to your waist, toes stay connected. Lift your hips, top knee to the sky for 1, resting it down. Lift up for 2, for 3. Point that knee high for 4. And then last one, reaching, squeezing your glutes and resting down for 5. Rolling back onto your back. Give your knees a little hug. I hope you're enjoying this one as much as I am. Feet are going to go back to the sky, nice and straight and strong. And then again, roll the shoulders up. Reach your arms forwards to encourage you in the direction that you're bringing those shoulders. Switching through the legs. Reach that left leg forwards and then swap. And then swap. Press your lower back into the floor the whole time. Try not to allow that part of the body to leave the floor. For 3, 2, 1, and then both legs to the sky. See if you can find momentum to roll yourself up to a straight-legged seat. Reach your arms tall, keep your toes flexed back towards your body, and then exhale to go forwards. The hands, again, either they find the toes or they don't worry. It's not what, it doesn't matter if you find them or not, but we're finding that hamstring stretch. Think of your sit bones scooting out behind you as your chest stays pulling forwards towards the front of the mat. Breathing in and breathing out. Great, let's take one more in this wonderful stillness, breathing in. Compress against your legs as you breathe out. Great, sitting yourself up, cross your ankles and roll yourself over your knees, or you can turn them round if that doesn't work nicely for you. Coming into a tabletop, shoulders above your wrists and hips above your knees. Take a deep breath in, drop the ribs to the mat, lift the chest, shoulder blades pinched together. And as you exhale, round the spine, tucking the tailbone and the chin comes under to the chest. Inhale, scooping down, sit bones lift, chest lifts. Exhale to round, hollowing out the front of the body. Take one more of each, breathing in and breathing out to round. Great, come back to neutral. Step those knees a little further back away from the wrists, toes tuck under, hips lift to the sky as you come into your first down dog. And if you'd like to take that lovely little pedal out of the legs, then do so. One knee bends, the other heel gets a chance to press towards the floor, doesn't have to touch it. And just find a little bit of a sway in the hips, find some movement there as you spend a moment pressing the hands down to open those shoulders, that upper body. And then find stillness, 2 softly bent knees, hips to the sky, thighs pressed backwards. Inhale and exhale. Great, from here with your right leg, inhale to send it to the sky for a 3-legged dog. The left heel stays heavy. We're pushing into the arms to send the body weight back. Reach those toes a little taller. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, step that foot right into the center of the mat. So halfway up, right into the middle, and ground the sole of the foot. We're coming into a warrior 3. So float the back leg away from the floor, and then hands to come in front of your chest, embrace the wobbles, and bring your chest up to find that capital T shape. So keep a micro bend into your knee here, and don't worry if you fall, just do your best. As you breathe in, straighten out through that leg, rise away from the mat. As you breathe out, take a little bend, keep your chest lifted. Breathing in, straighten it out, rise. Breathing out, take a little bend. Don't worry, just one more. Inhale, rising tall. Lift that back heel. Breathing out as you bend, micro bend, warrior 3. Take the hands back to the mat, 2 feet step back into your down dog, and take 2 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. One more, breathing in. And breathing out. Great, left leg, same this time. Left side, inhale, reach it tall. Right heel stays heavy, left toes reach to the sky, and the arm stays nice and straight and strong to push your body weight back. Breathing in, and then breathing out. Step that foot just halfway up the mat, middle of the mat. Ground the sole of the foot, back leg flies, and then lift through your chest, squeeze your back muscles to find that lift. Keep your balance, should I say. Keep your leg micro bent, and then breathing in to straighten it out, back heel rises. Breathing out, micro bend. Come on, legs, breathing in. Breathing out, take a little bend. Last one, inhale. And then exhale, micro bend. Keep that chest lengthening forwards, and then hands down to the mat. 2 feet step back into your down dog, and another couple of breaths. Inhale, lengthen sit bones to the sky. Exhale, heels press towards the earth. Breathing in, lengthen out the breath, slow it down. Exhale. Great, so from here, I want you to look forwards towards the top of the mat. We're going to take a little jump and our feet are going to land wide, pointing outwards just behind our hands. So load the springs of the legs, hop the hips high, land your feet wide, keep your hips sinking, and then reach your arms forwards into an active squat. So not our yogi squat yet, we're coming there, don't worry. Drive the knees wide, take the weight into the outer edges of your feet, breathe in. And then sink your hips low. Hands come together. Hopefully this feels like a little bit of a rest in comparison to that active squat, but it's a big old stretch into those hips. Let your hands come together, and as you lower your hands towards your belly, let your knees widen by the press of the elbow. Again, use this opportunity just to let your breath slow down. I know that I need to do that. Breathe in, chest rises. Breathing out, hips sink low. And then from here, a deep breath in to rise yourself all the way up to stand, arms up and overhead. And then exhale, hands release by your sides and step your feet together towards the top of your mat. Use your inhale, arms go up and overhead, gaze up towards them. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the floor, the knees to bend as much as you need to, dangle through your head. Inhale, hands to the shins, halfway rise, a nice flat, long spine. And exhale to refold, hands back to the floor. Inhale to rise up to stand, lengthen, tailbone tucks under, hollow in the front of the body. And exhale, send those hands back to the mat, hips to the sky and the head to hang loosely. Inhale to halfway rise. And the exhale to refold. Inhale, rise you all the way up to stand, arms up and overhead. And then exhale, release your arms by your sides. We're going to move through some sun salutation variations. I'm going to give you 2 options depending on where you are in your practice. Don't feel like you always have to do the hardest option. Do what feels best for your ability. So as you inhale, the arms go up and overhead. On the exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat, hips stay nice and high. Inhale, halfway lift. So our 2 options. As you exhale, either hands go down, step back into plank, and then slowly lower to the floor, option to use your knees. Otherwise, we're going to jump back and try to lower to the floor with control. So as my feet jump back, my chest goes forwards, and I press into the floor to slow down my descent. So I hop back, my elbows bend, and we come all the way down to the floor. From there, push your way back up onto the knees, bum to your heels and into child's pose. Take 1 deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, ripple your body forward. Shoulders come on top of the wrists. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Think of your hips dropping towards your wrists as you lift your chest. The legs are now floating into our up dog. Shoulders on top of wrists, press down through the feet, squeeze through your glutes. On the exhale, turn your toes over, hips into the sky and into down dog. So a little bit different to perhaps what you might have practiced before, but if you're doing that little jump back, keep those elbows in. It's a great way to build your upper body and core strength. Take a deep breath in here and a slow breath out. One more, breathing in and breathing out. Great. As you inhale, look forwards. We're jumping into our active squat. So as your feet land, they are wide, they are pointing outwards. Hips stay low as you reach your arms forwards, chest faces out towards the hands. Drive your knees wide. Hold here as you breathe in. And then breathing out, stand tall and release your arms. Step your feet back together. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the floor. Inhale, lengthen the body forward, shoulders away from the ears. There's always the option to step back first, otherwise hands go down. Keep your shoulders coming in front of your fingertips as you slowly bring the body to the mat. From there, push up onto your knees, hips to your heels into child's pose, forehead rests to the mat. One deep breath in. As you exhale, rise up, come forward, shoulders on top of the wrists, and then press down into the tops of the feet. Lift those knees, drop the pelvis towards the wrists as the chest lifts. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. As you exhale, turn the feet over, and then push those hips to the sky and into your down dog. 2 breaths, inhale. Exhale. Last one. Great, gaze goes forwards, jumping into our active squat. Feet are wide, hips stay low. Press into the outer edges of the feet as your arms reach forwards and your gaze follows. Holding here, hold the belly in, breathe in, and then breathe out, standing tall, and step those feet together. One last time, and there'll be an option to make it even harder, just different. Breathing in, arms to the sky. And breathing out, forward fold, hands to the mat. Inhale to halfway rise. This time we're going to take a little crow pose. Option after your crow pose is to step out of it and then continue, or you can try jumping back from crow. So if we're working on our crow, the hands go down shoulder width apart, the knees come to the triceps, the chest comes forwards, the heels come to our bum. Option just to come out of crow and step back into your plank. Otherwise, see if you can fire those feet back as you then lower yourself to the floor. Very hard move, so if you've just belly flopped to the mat, don't worry, I'm sure you're not the only one. Press your way back to your heels. It takes a bit of practice. Forehead to the mat and into child's pose. Breathe in, 1 breath. Breathing out, rise forward, shoulders on top of wrists. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Hips dip towards the wrists as you lift your chest into up dog. Roll the shoulders back. Turning those feet over, push your hips to the sky and into down dog. 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more, breathing in. And breathing out. Good. Taking your gaze forward. This time we're going to walk. A lovely little walk of the feet into the top of the mat. Bring your feet hip distance apart when you get there and challenge your hamstrings as you walk in. Try to keep your hands down. Feet hip distance apart. Soft bend in the knees so the belly and the thighs are connected. Take your first 2 fingers and send them between your first 2 toes for a toe bind. Keep hold of those toes firmly, and as you breathe in, try a halfway lift. So you're pulling your chest forwards, you're pressing your thighs back, trying to find a long flat spine. And then as you exhale, pull against those toes, but press the toes back into the fingers to allow yourself to fold over the legs. Lifting the hips tall, pressing those thighs back. I'm sure you can feel it, guys, but it's a hamstring stretch. Really challenging the length of the back of the legs. Try to maintain length in your neck. Try not to scrunch your shoulders in towards your ears and compress those ribs towards the thighs. Inhale. And then exhale, release. And option to do the same again if this next one isn't for you. Otherwise, hands are going to go underneath the soles of the feet and the toes are going to line up with the wrist, the line of the wrist. And obviously be careful of your balance here because you've taken your hands out of the equation. Again, inhale, try that halfway lift. Obviously a lot harder here. Chest pulls forwards, engage your quads. And then exhale, fold again against the legs. The toes press down towards the wrists. The wrists pull up against the toes, and that strength of them opposing helps the body fold over the legs. Push the sit bones tall, breathe in. Compress the body to the legs, breathing out. Last one, inhale. And then exhale, release. We're going to have one more go at whichever variation you like, whether that be to take a go at your crow pose and to jump back, whether it be just to move your way back into down dog, any which way you like. So crow, you're going to round your upper back, you're going to press your knees against your triceps, chest is way out in front of the fingertips. If you're trying the jump back, be explosive. Think of sending your hips up as well as back as you lower to the floor. Pressing your way back, hips into the sky, straight into down dog this time. Everyone to meet here, no matter what option you chose to take. Breathing in and breathing out. Great, with your left leg, as you inhale, lifting it to the sky for a three-legged dog. On the exhale, draw your knee to your nose, see if they can tap together underneath the body, and then place the foot right in between the hands on the center line of the mat. Drop the back heel down, windmill the arms up into your warrior two. Hips stay central. Don't allow yourself to surf forwards, and arms go alongside the shoulders, palms face the floor. Front knee on top of front ankle. Inhale as you hold here. Exhale, reach the front arm to the sky, back hand to the back leg, reverse warrior. Breathe in, lengthen that left side. Breathing out, front forearm to front thigh, right arm goes up and over, extended side angle. Breathing in, reverse that warrior, arm up and over, keep the front knee bent. Exhale, arm to quad, right arm up and over, gaze up. One more of each, breathing in, lengthen that left side, keep lunging forwards. Breathing out, extended side angle, push this front left knee wide. Take one more inhale here, and then exhale, right hand comes to the mat, turn onto the ball of the back foot, so all toes now point forwards, and inhale to send your left arm to the sky into this twisted lunge. Keep driving the hips forwards and down, turning the chest to the top fingertips, and then roll the back foot towards the little toe edge. We're going to step the front foot back and into side plank. Either stack the feet or stagger them if you'd like something a little more accessible. Option to drop that right knee as well, if that feels good for you right now. Hold your side plank, lift your hips to the sky, and then your top left leg, step it onto the floor behind you. Turn your hips to the sky, turn your chest to the sky. Your left arm goes alongside your ear as you've stepped into Wild Thing. Stay onto the ball of that foot behind you. Press into this right arm straight and strong. Inhale. And then exhale. Bring your hand back to the mat. Bring that leg back over. Step the knee down. The right leg stays where it was. Left arm threads underneath. Shoulder and the side of the left head, that's a new one, to the mat. And then walk your right arm forwards into this threaded needle, extended limb sort of shape. Maintain your balance by keeping the pelvis facing the floor, and press the side of the left shoulder down as you hold into your twist. Breathing in, breathing out. Enjoy this moment of stillness where the floor is supporting your body. One more inhale, and then exhale. Draw your right hand in, push yourself back round into a tabletop, and then tucking those toes. Lift the hips to the sky and into downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. Great, elongate that breath, inhale and exhale. Let's see how it goes on the other side, guys. Right leg, inhale to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee taps the nose underneath the body on the way forwards, and then steps between the hands, pointing forwards right in the center of the mat. Drop the back heel down, windmill those arms up. Tailbone is tucked, arms go broad and into your warrior two. Hold here, think of the front knee going forwards and towards the right side of your mat. Inhale. As you exhale, back hand to your back thigh, right arm up and over, turn your gaze to the sky. Take a deep breath in.
Breathing out, front arm to your front thigh, left arm up and over. Keep your tailbone tucked under. Breathing in, reverse that warrior. Keep that front knee bent, lunging forwards. Breathing out, rest the arm to the forearm. Gaze under that left arm, extended side angle. One more of each, inhale. And then exhale, pause here in the extended side angle. Drive the front knee wider, roll the chest open, inhale. On the exhale, left hand comes down to the mat. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot, so all toes point forwards. And then inhale, right arm to the sky. Chest faces the fingertips, chest rolls open to the side. Inhale. And then drop the knife edge of that foot. Pick this front foot up and see if you can step it back to stack on top of the other. You can stagger the feet as a more accessible option, or keep working the strength in this left arm, this left torso. Inhale, hold. And then your top right leg, you're going to step it off behind you, stay onto the ball of the feet, turn the hips to the sky, turn the chest to the sky, and send your right arm alongside your ear. Think of making the body a big rainbow shape, a nice arc in the body. Hold, breathe in. And then breathing out. Draw your hand back to the floor. That leg trails over and kneels down. The left leg stays at the back of the mat. Right arm threads underneath. Palm to the sky, shoulder and the side of the right head comes to the mat, and then left arm walks away from you to the very top of the mat. Few breaths here, allow things to slow down. Breathing in, breathing out. Great. Left hand comes back onto the mat. Thread yourself or unthread yourself back round into your tabletop. Take a moment in child's pose. Music to your ears, maybe music to my ears. Sit with your bum to your heels. Let your forehead rest down. Option for your arms to rest alongside your body. Option to have a little drink of water if you need to, particularly if you found yourself working up a bit of a sweat. Apologies if that's really loud down my microphone. In your child's pose, take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Last one. Great job, guys. Roll your way up, hands onto the mat in front of you. Send those hips back into the sky and into your down dog. Lengthen through the back of the thighs, open out through the armpits. Inhale and exhale. From here, looking forwards, we'll do a lovely little walk in. Although that makes it harder for our hamstrings and our core, walk those feet in as close to your wrists as you can. And when you get there, take a soft bend in the knees, your hands to your waist, chin to the chest, and think of a nice rounded spine as you unravel your body and draw yourself all the way up to stand at the top end of the mat, standing nice and tall. So from here, coming to some balancing poses, as if those weren't balancing enough already. You're going to draw your left knee up towards your chest, cross the left ankle over the right thigh as you sink into this figure four shape funky chair, as we call it. Flex the foot, make sure the left knee feels okay, and your hands to come together in front of your chest. Keep sinking your hips low, folding your body forwards. Perhaps you can go so far that the forearms rest onto the top leg, but don't worry if they don't have to. Keep the body nice and long, lift through your chest, breathing in. And now take hold of the big toe, this top big toe, with your 2 fingers and thumb, just like you did standing. You're going to come all the way up to stand, right hand to your waist as you press the heel away from you. The leg does not need to be straight. You can keep a bend in it. Just keep your torso upright and your left shoulder pulling back. Flex the toes back towards the body, push the heel away from you. Maybe you can reach your right arm to the sky, right alongside the ear, standing nice and tall. Inhale, and then see if you can let go of the toe. Keep the leg lifted as you step the foot to the back of the mat. Big long stride, really challenge the length here. You're sending those arms back to the sky into a high lunge, palm to palm. Send the hips forwards and down, front knee aims towards front ankle and back heel presses away from you. Lift the rib cage away from the hips as you breathe in. And then breathing out, your elbow is going to come to the outside of your thigh as you twist towards the right. Press the elbow into the leg to help the chest turn, to face chest coming towards your hands and your gaze to go over the right shoulder. Notice the feet wibbling and wobbling as this is quite the challenging balance. Hold here, breathe in. And then drop your back knee to the floor, untuck your back toes, breathing in, lift the chest, send the arms up and over, palm to palm again, and sink the hips forwards and down. Squeeze through your left glutes, feel that stretch in the left hip flexor, and lift your chin away from your chest as you squeeze the muscles of your lower back. Inhale, keep lengthening front of body. Exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. This front foot, wiggle it a little wider and then turn it out at about 45 degrees. Left hand to stay to the floor. Think of this front knee peeling away from the body as you roll onto the knife edge of the foot, turn your chest towards this front leg. Give the foot a push down into the floor and imagine you're pulling your heel towards the back of the mat to really get into that outer right hip. From here, breathe in, right arm goes all the way up and over, bend your back knee and see if your hand can find your foot to then give it a pull in towards your bum. Keep the body turning. Keep that front foot pressing down. We'll just pause for a moment here. I know it's a big stretch, but at least we're pausing. Inhale, expand. Exhale, keep drawing that heel in. Last one to breathe in. And then breathing out. Let the foot go. Roll the knee back towards center. Bring the foot back so it's facing forwards and then lift your back knee. We're going to see if we can find a transition from this lunge back into our funky chair. So lifting that back leg, stepping it in, cross the ankle over the thigh and then sink yourself nice and low. Now from here, you've got an option to try an arm balance, our flying pigeon. We're going to squat ourselves low, take the hands to the floor. You can wriggle back if you need more room. Send your knee as close to your armpit as you can. Hook your ankle around your right tricep. Send your chest forwards just like you would for crow and see if that back leg can leave the floor. I'm just going to step back a little bit because I'm not quite sure how much of my body you can see there. So from that figure 4 shape, your shin is the thing that's going to rest onto the shelf of the arms. Chest forwards, press the leg into the arm. And if you found balance there, I want you to reach the right leg to the back of the mat. Let the front shin come down and we're coming into pigeon. So perhaps if that didn't work for you, you can come from a plank shape. You can bring your left knee to your left wrist. The front shin is diagonal across the mat and the back leg wriggles away to allow the pelvis to sink towards the floor. Doesn't matter how far away from the floor your pelvis pauses, you should feel it into your outer left hip. We're going to stay upright in our pigeon rather than turning it into a sleeping pigeon because the aim of the game here is strength, flexibility, and generally the harder version of most things. Keep thinking of pulling your chest to come on top of the hips and give this whole front leg a push down into the floor and notice how you can feel that more in your left outer hip as you do that. Great. Holding here to breathe in. And then breathing out. Let your back leg just wiggle back in towards you a little bit and then stepping both feet back into down dog to the back of the mat, hips nice and high. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Good. And then we're going to take a jump forwards, but I want you to bring your feet together. So balls the feet together. Imagine you've zipped your thighs as one. As you take a hop forwards, I want you to try and keep your hips nice and high and your legs straight, sending your hips as high as you can, so almost into a pike shape. The weight is going to transfer forwards towards the fingertips. So bend those knees, hop the hips high, and then land as close to the wrists as you can. Option to give that another couple of goes, because on the first time it takes a little moment for your body to try and figure out what you're trying to let it do. So bend the knees, legs stay straight, hop the hips high, and see if you can land by your wrists. Once you're there, inhale, hands to shins, chest pulls forwards. And as you exhale, fold over those legs. On the inhale, rising your way up to stand, arms go up and over. And as you exhale, release your hands by your sides. So all of that fun and games to repeat onto the other side. We'll stand onto the left leg. Right knee draws high towards the chest. Cross the ankle over the thigh. Push your hips backwards to sit into that chair shape and press the ankle against the thigh. Hands come together as you keep sinking back. Maybe the arms rest to the shin. Don't worry if they don't. You're just sinking into this hip stretch. Chest is lifting, spine stays long. Breathing in. Breathing out. Take hold of your big toe. First two fingers between first two toes. Come to stand as you press the heel away from you. Left hand to your waist to maintain your balance. Keep the toes lifting tall. Again, the leg doesn't need to be straight. That's not what this is about. As long as you've got a nice upright body and you're pressing your heel away from you, that means you've got it. So don't be worried about straight lines and what it looks like. Go for what it feels like. Maybe you've got the balance and you can take your left arm up alongside your ear. Squeeze those left glutes to solidify that standing left leg. Hold here, breathing in. And then releasing the foot, stepping it to the back of the mat. See if you can maintain your balance. Big long stride right to the back of the mat. Front knee on top of front ankle. Inhale, arms overhead, palms together. Squeeze through your right glutes, drive your hips forwards and down, and aim to get that back leg as straight as you can manage. Ribs lift up and away from the hips as you inhale. And then exhale, elbow hooks to the outside of the thigh. Press the elbow into that leg to twist your body, turning the chest towards the hands and sending the gaze over the left shoulder. Keep lengthening out through your spine, breathing in. Finding that twist and turn as you breathe out. Last one, inhale. As you exhale, drop the back knee down and untuck the back toes. Use the inhale, sweep the arms and the chest to the sky, palms meet above you. Send those arms towards or beyond your ears. Squeeze through your right glutes, press down through the top of that back foot and lengthen the front line of the body. One last in-breath. And then exhale. Hands down to the mat. Right hand stays down, left foot wiggles a little wider and the toes turn out off the left side of the mat. Roll that knee away from you. Twist your torso towards this front leg and press down through the knife edge of this front foot. Left arm goes all the way up and over to find that foot behind you. Give it a pull in towards your bum. Feel your quads as if you've not felt them before, and give that back knee a little press against the floor as well if you can tolerate that, and that will help make that quad stretch a little more effective too. Hold here, inhale, open through the front body. Exhale, heaviness through the hips. Last one, breathing in. And then breathing out, letting it go. Bring your foot back towards center, so it's pointing forwards. I'm just going to wiggle back so that when we do the transition, you can actually see me. So we're going to step the back foot forward, see if we can come back into our funky figure 4 balance. So lift the back knee. As the chest comes forward, step that leg in, cross the ankle over the thigh, and see if you can find that sink of the hips into your figure 4. You're very welcome to stay here. My legs, I think, would prefer an arm balance. So as you squat down, you come back again. As you squat down, let your hands come like a plank. Knee nice and close to armpit. The ankle hooks round the left elbow as if it's really holding on to the leg. Chest is then going forwards beyond the fingertips. Press the hands into the floor, round your upper back, and see if that back leg can lift. This is your flying pigeon. If you've managed to get it, see if you can step that left leg to the back of the mat and then let this leg slide off of its shelf as you move into pigeon. Otherwise, come into your plank and then step your right knee behind your right wrist as you move in to the stretchy version. Hands for support onto the mat. Keep your chest lifted on top of your pelvis. And as before, give this whole front leg a push down into the mat. Imagine you're lifting up and away, and you should feel it into that right outer hip a little more juicy. Breathing in. Breathing out. Great. Last one. And then let your back leg wiggle in a little bit if you need to. This time, step your knees to meet so that you're coming to sit onto your heels towards the back of the mat. So toes are tucked under and knees are a little bit wider than hips. So don't have your thighs together. It makes this very, very challenging. Just widen your knees a little bit wider, and you can always readjust them as we move through if you need to. Generally, the wider they are, the little bit more accessible for your hip flexors. Right hand onto your right heel. With your left arm, as you inhale, lift your bum away from your heels, send your left arm up and overhead, and you can gaze either down towards the mat or up towards the sky, thinking of lengthening this whole left side of the body. As you exhale, put your bum back down, switch to the other side, so left hand, left heel, breathing in, hips push forward, squeeze your glutes, right arm alongside right ear. As you exhale, sit your bum back down. Now I can almost hear you all saying, oh, so easy. I kid. So we're going to make it a little bit more challenging. So come back to the right side, hand to your heel. As you inhale and lift your hips, we're going to move into a balance. So move very slowly. Think of a strong core. Take your weight towards your right knee. See if you can step your left foot out onto the mat in front of you. Concentration face. If and when you've got it out, sink your hips into the lunge. Maybe you can lift that front heel so you're just onto the ball of the foot, and then you're into a lunging half camel. Draw that left arm up and overhead, breathe in. And then as you breathe out, you know what's coming. See if you can step that left knee back where it came from, and then sit your bum back down into your little pause between the two. So let's see how it goes on the other side. Remember, slow and steady. Left hand onto the left heel. Inhale, hips push forwards, arm reaches up and over. So our left knee is going to be our balancing knee. Lean your weight a little towards the left. See if you can step that right foot out to the top of the mat. If and when it gets there, lunge forwards and down, feel that front body opening, and there's the option to pull the heel off the mat, bringing the foot onto the ball of the foot into this big old stretch for your hip flexors. Take a deep breath in, and then see if you can find your balance to return that knee back underneath you, and then sit your bum back onto your heels. Untuck those toes. Let your belly come to rest onto your thighs, and slowly walk your hands away from you as you come steadily down into a child's pose. Rest down through the elbows, rest down through the hips. Couple of deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. One more, breathing in and breathing out. Great. Rise your way up via tabletop. Push your way into down dog. We've got one more sort of burst of energy before we let ourselves wind down and rest. So think of this as your last little push, guys. So from your down dog, take your gaze a little further forwards. With your right foot, I want you to step forwards onto the top of the foot. So we're not actually putting the foot down, top of the foot, knee towards elbow, the shin is diagonal. The back foot is then going to step in, so you've got very little weight in your legs, you should feel it into your core, and then step them straight back into down dog. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, see if you can drop your elbows down to the mat, into dolphin, and then press your way back into down dog. Right leg this time, stepping it forwards, top of the foot. I lie, we did right leg last time, doesn't matter. Left leg, step it in behind you. The legs are crossed, you're on the tops of the feet. Stepping both feet back, down dog, breathe in. Dropping both elbows, breathing out, dolphin. Inhale, lift it back up, down dog. We've only got 2 more to go, guys. Step the foot forwards, left foot this time. Cross the shin, tops of the foot, right foot steps in behind, round your upper back, and then step the feet back. Down dog, inhale. Exhale, the elbows drop, dolphin. Inhale, lift it back up, down dog. Last time, left leg, stepping it forwards, top of the foot to the mat. Right foot steps in, press into the hands. Your upper body is holding as much weight as it can, and then step them back, down dog. Inhale as you hold. Last one, guys. Those shoulders are burning. Drop down into the elbows. Press your way back up into down dog and then drop to your knees, whether that be voluntarily or not. Sink your hips to your heels, your arms to come alongside your body, your forehead to rest down. Focus on elongating the breath a little. Make each inhale last just a moment longer. And match that length with the exhale, maintaining control of your breath the entire time. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Good job, guys. Roll your way up and onto your shins. Wipe the sweat away from your brow and then spin your legs around until they're out onto the mat in front of you. 2 legs to extend to begin with, and then cross your right foot over to the outside of the left thigh. Taking a nice twist, right hand goes behind you. Either give the leg a little hug or you can hook the elbow as you turn and look over that right shoulder. Chest grows tall, breathe in. Body turns round, breathing out. Draw yourself back to the centre and switch through the legs. Left leg bends, steps to the outside of the leg, left hand behind you. Breathing in, send the right arm tall. And breathing out, twist over that left shoulder, keeping your chest nice and upright. Drawing yourself all the way back round to face centre. Make sure you have some space behind you, so shuffle your bum forwards a little, feet onto the mat, arms reach forwards. With a rounded spine, tucked tailbone, chin to the chest, slowly allow yourself to unravel all the way down onto your backs. Give your knees a little hug in towards your chest, pulling your heels nice and close to your bum and your thighs nice and close to your belly. I would never be so cruel to you as to add in any more ab work. I confess it crossed my mind for a moment there, but we will not. We will stay calming, we'll stay relaxing. Let your knees fall over to the right side. Your left arm reaches out in the opposite direction. Palm to the sky, gaze to the palm, and your right hand can pin those legs down beside you if you wish, or just let it release and relax beside the legs. Send your breath right down into the belly. Inhale. Exhale. Roll the legs back to the centre and then send them to the other side. Legs go to the left, arm goes to the right, right shoulder stays heavy, and send those deep belly breaths all the way down. Roll yourself back to the centre, give your knees a little hug in towards your chest, and then widen the knees out towards the armpits. You can then send the soles of the feet to face the sky, reach up to hold the heels or the toes for your happy baby, bend the knees wide out towards the elbows and send the toes up towards the top of the mat. The underside of the pelvis stays pushing down towards the floor so that the whole back line of the body stays grounded. Maybe you can choose to close your eyes. Maybe you can take a soft rock from left to right. And then releasing your feet. Let your feet find the mat to begin with, and then one leg at a time, step the legs out. Let your arms release alongside your body. Palms face the sky, maybe just tuck your shoulder blades underneath your chest a little to feel that nice openness across the front of the body. Find softness across your face and just allow yourself these last few moments where the body can rest. Even if there's noise and distraction around you, just allow yourself these moments just to wind down, to feel everything start to come to a close. And then as you inhale, reach your arms overhead. Point through your toes to stretch the whole body. Pulling the knees then in towards the chest for a soft little squeeze. And then gently roll yourself up into a seated position. Your final inhale, circle your arms to the sky. And your final exhale, to lower the hands down towards the belly and the chin down towards the chest. Well done, guys, for subjecting yourself to such hard work. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope your body is feeling energized and strong and like it's really done some good for your body. You can feel the strength and the effort that you've put in there. Do let me know what you thought of this style of class, how it felt for you in terms of level, because obviously when we're online, anyone can join this class and anyone's level of fitness and strength and flexibility. So it'll be a very different experience for everybody, but I'd love to hear from you in the comments about how you found the class. If you did find value and you're able to donate, thank you so much in advance. There is a link to my PayPal just below the video, and anything and everything is very much appreciated. Hope you can join me again for another live. It's Monday evenings and Sunday mornings. Sunday mornings is a 9:30 a.m. class. Have a lovely rest of your day, rest of your week, wherever you are in your week, and see you again online soon.